I need to feel excitement, it's a good dream fun. Something that can be enjoyed by everyone. I've got a favorite pastime, some favorite cartoon. I think you know what I'm going to do. You know there's nothing more that I'd rather do than hang out and watch some Turks baseball with you. Turks, looking for a grand slam. You say we love these guys. Let's go with looks like a curve. Turks get you from the detail. Don't we play? That's the way we're having fun. So won't you take me out to the game? I'm a real fan, I will play everything. I want you to buy me some peanuts and cracker jack. If it's not too much to ask, I think a hot dog will do. Good afternoon, what's coming was my phone page. When I watch you play, I feel like striking rich.
Here's the starting lineup for the pitchers. Charles Frank leading off with center fielder number 25, Harris. And second and playing shortstop number 6, Stephen Turk. And third, left field number 1, Brian Munoz. And fifth is the designated hitter number 15, Matt Manning. And fifth, playing third base number 9, Justin Esquera. And sixth, and doing the catcher number 24, Greg Watsinski. And seventh, and playing first base number 22, Charlie Powell. And eighth, and at second base number 16, Chris Townsend. And batting ninth is the right fielder, second, Andrew Milano. On the mound this evening for the Cannons, with a valid record of 0-0, number 17, Jack Charleston from the Eagles of Faulkner. Charleston, the starting pitcher for Charlestown. The Cannons are managed by Brad Fuller. The assistant coaches are Mike Smith, Doug Walker, and Rich Fuller.
These are two majors. He didn't play 16 years for a whole variety of teams, working as a setup man, a closer, and all kinds of stuff.
And now, here's the starting lineup for the Harrisonburg Turks. Leading off, controlling center field, number 18, Thomas Spitz.
First thing we figured out here is
Christopher Barr.
idea about the coaches are these stuff. I'm covering this associate coach. He's got down here experience for
Good goal.
I coached about your last year. It was a already team.
Joey Rose. And ladies and gentlemen, this time we ask you to please rise and honor America as we play our national anthem.
rendition of our national anthem. We don't always have someone to sing it every night of the week, and that's going to give me the thumbs up that we're ready to roll here, and I can send people to the site and log on and send people to the site, and they can log on and watch everything, right? And I apologize for them having to look at me occasionally, right? To do that up front. There we go. Sure, no problem, no problem. Brian Reese will be joining me later on around the second minute. I mentioned he's the beat writer here for the Turks and Charlestown Cannons. And get back to the coaching end of things. The Charlestown Cannons, they're managed by Brett Big Daddy Ford, who's the head coach and the owner of the Charlestown Cannons. And he, like Coach Reese, are car dealers. These car dealers, they got that schedule flexibility. That's one car dealers involved in some of these teams in the Valley League and also the Rockingham County Baseball League nearby. Mike Smith is his general manager, and he's also assistant coach, and Doug Walker is assistant coach. And the bullpen coach is Ridge Fuller, who is Brett Fuller's son. Good little player. Joe Ziemba hitting his warm-up crosses over the Turks. Matt stepped in. I thought Matt's going to have any rebroadcasting guidelines. What's going on, man? Code of conduct. Leading off for the Cannons will be Harris. Ziemba is 0-2 on the year. So stats on it. As we go around here, it goes Harris. Camera on my PC, more than need to. Ziemba kicks and deals. Harris squared around the bunt, pulls it back, and takes strike one. Other way with baseball, 7:31 Eastern Standard Time. Stephen Kerr on deck. A little looper down the right field line. I'll get down for the base hit. Has some English to it. Smith will pick it up there and lead off loop single for Huey Harris. And here comes Kerr, hitting .319 on the season. 9 steals, 1 caught steal. Run a little bit.
The shortstop, number 6, Stephen Kerr.
Kerr is from Florida Atlantic. There is a runner. Fastball's in there for a strike. Throw to second is not in time. A stolen base for Huey Harris right off the bat. That is the Cannons' MO. Get on the bases and steal some bases. 2 balls and 1 strike, runner in scoring position for Charlestown. Next pitch is high for a ball, squared around a bunt. Trying to play a little ultra small ball here in the first inning. Want that runner at second over third. I'm not necessarily a big fan of handing over the first out of the ball game. It does get a runner at third. 1-1 pitch, popped foul right side. That'll get out of play. Kids will go scurrying for that, turn it in for a freezy pop. There's also a very nice softball complex here next to Eagle Field, Veterans Memorial Park. Ladies over there playing softball tonight. Some of the JMU girls. 1-2 pitch liner down the right field line, twisting, and that's a fair ball. Fair by about a foot. 1 run will score. Baker's up with it. He guns it in quickly to second, and it hits off the runner and on the shallow left center where McLean goes and gets it. So a little pepper of the right field line so far. Blip single down there to right. That was a pretty good little shot down there on a double. So single and a double, and the Cannons are on the board. Stephen Kerr adds to his bag there. Here comes Brian Munoz. Left-hand swing is Munoz. Flynn Cookman punted down the third base line and he'll let it go, just go foul. good play by Gold. You're really not going to have a play even if you pick that up. So definitely a speed team when you see the number 3 hitter dropping one down and taking off. So much about these teams, they want to learn who the heck they are. What do we do? What's our MO? With our talent, what can we do? And I think that's the interesting thing in the first 10, 12 ball games. Even when you think on paper, you know what your team's likely to be. You better figure out what they really are. Somewhere in that first dozen games. Liner foul, left field side. I think the Turks are a team that expects to have a little bit more speed. They've shown a little bit more power. Struggled defensively, really started to right the ship in a lot of areas all at one time. The balls and 2 strikes. Zimba deals. Chopper out towards second base. Smith has got it. His only play will be first. Throw to first is just in time. Smith has a knack of a just-in-time throw to the bases. So first out recorded there is Stephen Kerr. Scampers on over to third.
And if you're not designated hitter number 15, Matt Gandy.
Here comes Matt Gandy now. Pitch from Ziemba, 1 house to plate. Strikes are the key for Ziemba. Goes pretty hard, a good slider. Really no defense in baseball at any level for balls. Chopped again. This was a foul ball. Ziemba would have had a play on it, but he probably would have had to surrender the run instead of just be strike, 1 ball, 1 strike. .289 for Gandy coming in. Fastball just missed outside. Two-one pitch. Had the plate but low on that outer edge. 3 balls and 1 strike. Justin Esquero on deck. He's at an even 300. Fastball right down the middle. Had to take a little off of that. Stolen base for Hootie Harris earlier was his 13th of the year. Gets 3 caught steals. 3-2 pitch. Chopped out towards second. Smith is up with it, and he'll throw over the first route number 2, but run number 2 comes across for Charleston, and that's exactly this inning's prototypical in the way the Cannons want to score runs. A little bit lucky on a ball down the line, but certainly running the bases hard, dropping down a bunt. Textbook small ball. 2 runs on 2 hits. 2 outs, nobody on, and here's Esquera. 1 home run, 2 RBIs on the year. First pitch from Ziemba pops the glove high. On the pitch. Slider stayed a little high. If you want to watch the video and the audio, I'm told this, we finally have that all straightened out. The audio is not modulating and all those wonderful technical terms that drive everybody so crazy. Head to the Turks site, stream it right there. Be a link right in the middle of the page. Next pitch comes in high once again from Ziemba. Ziemba has certainly taken some speed off to try and find the zone, and he hasn't worked very so far. There's a strike. Fastball outside corner. Zone got a little wide there for strike 2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Turks got 1 in the first last night. They've been the one scoring in the first of late. 3-2 pitch. Hit high and deep on the left field line. It is hooking a pretty good distance. 3:30 to left here. Good time to mention that. That was probably doing about 3:55 and foul. About 380 in the hours here. 400 dead center. 320 down the right field line. And it's a 16-foot high wall from about the right center gap all the way to the right field line. So I'm going to give it a pretty good poke to get it out there. The wind is clipping along to left field. We gave that last swat probably another 15 feet that it wouldn't have had. That would have gotten out of here either way. 3-2 pitch. Chop down toward third. Old has got it. And Turks that strong throw. Throw it back on the field. A real good start for the Charlestown Cannons. 2 runs on 2 hits for Charlestown. Harrisonburg headed to the bat rack already down to visiting Charlestown.
Harrisonburg coming to bat.
Bottom of the first here from the overall game in Harrisonburg. Top of the order for the Harrisonburg Turks. Thomas Spitz, Christopher Barr, and Thomas Smith. 1-2-3 against the right-hand offering for Jack Charleston. 6'5", 170. First pitch is line foul on the ground. Coach Kozinski right there. 3 wickets. 2 balls and 1 strike. Spitz and Rose have been a 2-man gang for the Turks of late. A bunch of guys hitting on base to really twist the knife on opponents to go for the Turks. 1 pitch, swung on and missed. Good running fastball by Charleston. Charleston Faulkner University. Headed into his sophomore year. Fastball very high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Both teams with excellent speed here. Their leadoff center field. Slider had the plate for low. That pitch there really illustrative of Spitz taking more of these close pitches, not getting himself out quite as often. 2-2 pitch foul straight back over the top. 2-2. 2-0 Cannons. Bottom of the first inning. Team really firing. Charleston has a sign he likes, and he deals. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. Rodzinski set up there, maybe a ball width off the edge. Charleston hits the target, gets the call. Definitely saw that for Zimbo, a couple of pops on the top of the first.
Second for the Turks, first baseman, number 17.
Process on that. Being given, better protected. Pitch to Barr in there for a strike, and there's one to him on the outer edge. So that side of the plate's open for business too. As long as the players know they're 0-1 pitch, that one missed the target way inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Barr got his first home run of the season last night. Straight away right center over the double high fence here. Way outside, lost the grip on that. A Newt LaLoosh there if you're a Major League fan. Definitely was trying to come up with some kind of crazy grip gimmick pitch there. It slipped right out. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here's the pitch to Barr. Chopped down towards second. Scooped up there on 2 big hops. There at first is in time. Here's Townsend on play. 2 up, 2 down for the Turks here in the bottom of the first. That'll bring up Thomas Smith. No question the Turks can really get it going regardless of the number of outs. 7 straight hits the other night there at Albany. 7 straight Turks. Not only reach base, but 7 straight hits. That'll score some runs regardless how many outs there are. Good looking slider. Cuts the plate in 2 for strike 1 to Smith. Thomas Smith, Georgia Tech. 0-1 pitch, missed outside. Charleston is whipped in, 6'5", 170 pounds. He was the 1-1 outside. Let's see, Brodzinski hold that there briefly. He's trying to figure out just how far out of the limits of the edge are. 2-1 pitch, breaking ball inside. Hard slider there. Jackknife Smith back just a shade. 3 balls and 1 strikeout of Thomas Smith. Fastball hit right back the middle. Charleston has got it. He'll underhand the first for a 1-2-3 inning. Real good 0 to follow for Charlestown. Exactly what you want to get. Headed for the second inning here. Charlestown gets top on top. 2-0 versus the Turks.
More July the 25th for August 22nd at 6 o'clock.
What year are you in school, Brian? What year are you in school?
I'm going to be a senior next year.
Okay, great.
Are we on the USA?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's cool. I'm not sure. Matt hasn't switched the shot. See, you see the small screen in the bottom right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure how we want the camera.
Can I plug in with that?
Yeah.
753.
We're not on it.
No. I won't. You'll know what's up. And if his shot's not good, he won't take it.
Okay, I've got all the stats listed up here.
Yeah, we're good. Hey, Matt. You want to readjust this? You want to readjust this so you can get us both, or don't bother with it?
Okay, so in the video.
Well, in the video, I mean. Pick us both up. Okay, good. This thing's got a fisheye, huh? All right, here we go. I'll give you a proper intro. Top of the second inning here from Harrisonburg, Virginia. Dave Norton on the call. Got one of our guests coming in here, Brian Reese, the beat writer for both the Turks and the Charlestown Cannons. First pitch to Greg Brodzinski is in there. And I look like a Charlestown Cannons top of the first there.
That's right. They found a couple of
Little flare out toward the second. Smith has to play it on the hop, and he'll throw to first in time. Good stretch by Christopher Barr for out number 1. That one had a little bit of English on it there.
That's right. It's good to see Christopher Barr back healthy again. I know he's had a couple of problems recently. He had a problem with his ankle.
I don't think he's 100%. He's got a lot more speed than he's been able to show. He played a very nice first base. And we're just thrilled to have him here because he's a versatile player. I know he was jacked up after hitting one out last night, so that's good.
He said it was his first home run since middle school.
That's hard to believe. Here comes Charlie Powell. A little slider in there for a strike to Powell.
Powell's only hitting about 228 on the season, but he's leading the team. Oh, and RBI.
Little liner foul ball and going up the face of the Turks dugout. So he's a thumper. In early,
Excuse me, he's third in the team in RBI.
Yeah, but in early going, if he's hitting a low number but still driving runs, he's kind of an all or nothing guy. A lot of teams have got those guys. It's just doubles, home runs, and a bunch of strikeouts is what you get from a lot of players, even at the major league level. No balls with 2 strikes. Ziemba kicks and deals. Big curve, swung on and missed. He's got a good biting curve, and sometimes it's just up there in the sight line so much you can't lay off of it even when it's high in the zone.
And I've heard, I haven't had a chance to see Ziemba pitch this year so far, but everyone I've talked to says that he's got stuff that can really turn on.
Yeah, he does, and we really haven't seen him find his rhythm yet where he's pumping the fastball quite so much. Comes Chris Townsend now, second baseman. That's up high for a ball. But it's all about throwing strikes. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, you've got to throw strikes whether you're a soft tosser or a big arm. Squared around the bunt, took it down and in. 2 balls and no strikes. So have you been a beat writer before? I mean, you're going into your senior year at JMU, and have you been a beat writer before?
This is my first
nice.
First thing they gave me a shot. I'm working with the Valley Baseball League Media Relations Department, and Lauren Jefferson is our supervisor. She does an incredible job.
Lauren's good people. 3 balls and no strikes. And with 2 outs, you don't want to give a guy with speed a chance to do a little something. Squares around, pulls it back, takes the strike one. Andrew Mulatto is on deck. And with Charlestown really running the bases so well, you can have a lot of guys in this lineup that can be a 2-out rally if they just get on. You can pop up down the right field line again. Jesse Baker's got a beat on this one. He makes the catch for out number 3. 2 runners have settled in. So tell me this a little bit about yourself, Brian. I know that you're a JMU guy, but getting a beat, you've got 4 teams and some geography to cover. Eventually, it's one of those things where, on your resume, it's like, have you had a beat? Sure. Who's your cover? Sure. Evaluate. It's all things that you're building your future.
Yeah, it's been really neat because I do have 4 teams, and they're all spaced geographically, about 100 or so miles from each other, from Charlestown all the way to north to Harrisonburg is my most southern team, and it's just been really neat. I've been able to see about 8 games so far this season, and I've been to 2 that have been rained out.
Right.
So it's been really neat so far, and just been able to meet a bunch of great people. I think it's been the biggest thing, and trying all the different restaurants. So
yeah, there you
up
go.
And down the valley.
Now, you just put one in my wheelhouse there. When it comes to baseball and trips and all that, you've got to tie something else in. For me, I always try and tie in some good food, maybe some good music if there's some music going on. Fun happens in trying. It's one of those things where, if I can make a nice baseball pilgrimage to not Omaha, Nebraska someday, like Joe did. But when you can mix it all together. Plus, I like just being in the ballparks early, or just getting the atmosphere of the game more than just showing up once the clock, write your story, and send it in.
Oh yeah.
You got Joe Rose, and what story Joe's been, huh? Swung on and fouled on the third base side.
Oh yeah. Coach Weiss spoke so highly of him when I spoke with him on the phone the other day.
Well, he was drafted as a pitcher out of high school, and has been a pitcher at Georgia State. And that's really, scouting-wise, how he's thought of the highest. Fastball is fouled off the third base side, but I think so much time, he was a really nice dual threat for the Panthers of Georgia State with the bat and also throwing the ball. But I think that when he goes into this lanky body of his, he might end up being better with that stick than throwing the baseball.
Yeah, he's that.
Chopped out towards shortstop. The first is high, and he did get back down in time. First baseman saves him there. Charlie Powell comes off the bag and right back down to save Steve Miller. Cheap throwing here. The 1 up, 1 down. Here comes Eric Kelfleisch. Eric has hit a couple long balls on the road trip, but hasn't really warmed up with that big batting average we're used to. Plenty of time for that to happen. Fastball glided outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Is baseball your #1 sport, or were you really a diehard fan?
I've always been a baseball fan.
Liner out towards center. How about that? A little Charlie Brown action there. That was a shot.
Talking about the bats getting heated up for Kelfleisch. He had that big I believe he had that big RBI walk-off single down the third baseline against Strasburg a week or two back.
2 home runs against Covington in a double-hit sweep. Very big hits. He's a slasher, and that hit there was definitely, that's his style. Just back up the box a lot, swing to the gaps. That was Brandon Gold. Fastball missed inside. Gold and Kelfleisch, I think, for the Turks, Ryan, they're going to be pivotal because when teams finally start really saying, all right, let's pitch around Rose. These guys are going to get some pitches. Little ground ball out towards shortstop. Nice looking play. Third, second for one. On to first. A double play. Good turn at shortstop in particular. Nice quick hands by Stephen Kerr. He got it over there to Townsend. He got plenty of time to make the turn. A big double play. Were you up here for your last night's game?
I actually wasn't. I was with my buddies watching the Orioles on a huge Orioles game.
Me too.
They had a big walk-off home run in the bottom of the ninth by Chris Davis last night.
You know, I was talking with Matt Weiss before the game that I've never seen anyone. One other player comes to mind, 5 before you were born, but Chris Davis can get so little of the ball and still get it out. It's almost like he gets 40% of the ball.
How are we doing tonight, Turks,
And he's just so strong. It's a big, moving, 380-foot fly ball, and it's out of the ball.
Oh yeah, and he carries the biggest bat, I believe, in Major League Baseball, weight-wise. And he can just hit.
That's got to help. It's just the mass to the speed of the ball. But he can have what swing where he looks absolutely cool and just
Yes,
okay, that's a 380-foot in the top.
But yeah, and it's all about him getting contact with the ball. I know that he's had a little bit of trouble turning his head at the plate recently, and that's what causing him to have a lot of whips. But
well, street players like him are. There's going to be some moments where you're like, ooh, wow, that was rough. But when he's locked in, he can just literally carry the team for 7 or 10 days at a time. And you know that's just worth waiting for. There's always going to be.
They're gonna need him down the stretch.
And our Orioles are not a high on base percentage team.
No, I think they lead the league they're last in the league in walks.
In walks, exactly. And you don't fix that in June, July, or August. You just don't. And you don't fix it with one guy. 2-0 ball game, top of 3. Ziemba. The 5, Andrew Mulatto. First pitch is up there high for a ball. How do you like the Cannons with the Vegas gold? That's a statement.
I think they're a little neat. They've got the casino look to them.
Yeah. Popped up third base side. Stephen McLean makes the early call and the catch for out number 1. So in covering the Cannons, when you set out, do you ever say, all right, well, maybe I'm going to go and hit both of these teams, or you hit them all, or you just plug in for one game and try to get the score?
Just try to go take it all in. I try to shake hands and talk to everybody kind of at the ballpark. Been to about 6 different places so far.
It's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
Comes Hootie Harris now. Squared around, took the ball down low. Justin Hootie Harris, Emporia State. Pretty good looking player.
And I was in the press box segment, my friend Chase, and I told him, I said, Justin's probably going to steal right here.
Got the skills. The Turks are normally a team 3-4 guys that can run, but through the years we've had a variety of teams. Used to be in smaller ballpark. See a lot more punters in that Turks lineup. Fastball strike 2 about knee high. Looks to me, Brian, that Ziemba's really stressing a nice fluid motion more so than he's with the big violent motion. He's really looks to be focusing on his mechanics. He's not throwing as hard as we've seen him in the past. He's really trying to throw strikes. Chop down toward third, that'd be a foul ball. I'd kind of like to see that one stay fair because you got a huge arm down there and Brandon Gold and big speed out of the batter's box. That would have been an interesting little foot race there.
And Harris leads the Cannons in steals, and Brandon Gold. Coach Weiss said he had an amazing play the other night to hold Aldi in late in the game.
1-2 pitch, slider stayed low. I think for Ziemba, being at 6'10", with that kind of frame, there's a lot that can go wrong. You know, when you think about the mechanics of a pitcher, there's room for margin for error being fluid out there. It's got to be more difficult. 2-2 pitch with a ground ball towards shortstop off the back of the mound. McLean takes it on the third hop, and he throws it out. Good work by McLean. His fundamentals have really picked up from the struggles he had earlier in the season.
Oh yeah, and he's impressed me so much when I've seen him play. He's kind of like Spider-Man out there. Some of the times he's jumped up in the air.
He's just a kid that's hard not to like because he's had plenty of time to hang his head about not hitting in a spot or defensive struggles, but he hasn't let it happen.
Oh yeah, and Coach Weiss just said that he was so good defensively, even though I believe he leads the team in errors.
He does, but the last week or 10 days, he wouldn't have.
He's just got one game. It was raining really hard, and I believe they were playing Winchester, and he had a couple of errors in that game, and it was just
I think the Turks are either at or just below the number of errors for all of last season. 1-1 pitch is low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Stephen Kerr popped that double down right through the line, just there. Got the Cannons off and running here tonight. 2-1 pitch. In there for a strike. And, the high strike is open. We've seen the edges open as well. Much bigger zone here in the early going than we've seen the last couple of nights.
Help Ziemba settle in a little bit.
2-2 pitch. High and tight, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Did you play baseball as a young man or no?
I was a tennis player in high school.
Okay.
So I played tennis all 4 years, and a little bit better at that.
3-2 pitch from Ziemba. Chop down toward third. That's a foul ball once again. I know that here in Harrisonburg, they just had a big tennis tournament wrap up. They had
Really?
local tournament with some of the amateurs, and a couple of the amateurs in their 50s were taking out some of the young boys. That's pretty cool.
Well, I know they just started.
3-2 pitch is down and in for ball 4, and Kerr's got himself a walk.
Wimbledon has just started over in London. Rafael Nadal picked up a win today. Lost the first set.
Yeah, that's news. Yeah, tennis is one of those things where it never made it into my top 5 as far as things I wanted to play. There's always something else I wanted to play. I like the sport. It's cool to watch. Just as a player, never had much interest in it. Here comes Brian Munoz now.
What's interesting about Munoz is
366 is pretty interesting.
Well, he hits so great, but at the beginning of the season, they had him in the 9-hole, 9 spot in the lineup.
There's a little flare single out to left field. Talking about very good speed. Quick throw back to second. Throw to third is not in time. So overslid the bag, and he's out of there. Tell you what, that's a matter of Kerr rounding second, tempting Kelplace to throw in behind him, and Kelplace has a pretty good arm. Threw in behind him. A little too cute for their own good right there. I know Kerr wants to be aggressive on the bases, but it just doesn't make sense with your 3 and 4 hitter. Your 4 hitter about to come up. It doesn't make any sense.
That artificial turf on JMU's field definitely makes it a little bit tougher to stay.
He had it, but that's all there is to it. He definitely has it. But you've got to complete the play there. You can see the Kelplation left. I could tell that he was letting lollygag a little bit to get him to take a big turn. And it seemed obvious to me that he took the bait. The Turks didn't necessarily make the play the way he wanted to, but he definitely took the bait on getting thrown back behind him like he wanted to. As far as the teams go, who have you been the most impressed with as far as talent? It is early, so there'll be time to revise your answer in a few.
Yeah, well, definitely. Well, I haven't seen Front Royal yet. One of my buddies covers the Cardinals, and he says that they're, just obviously they're first place,
sure.
13-3.
Yeah, great pitching and 3 guys over 340. That'll keep you in some ball games.
Oh yeah, and Waynesboro's they're in second, tied with the Turks. They definitely impressed me.
So you have Harrisonburg, Newmarket.
I have Harrisonburg, Charlestown, Woodstock, and Strasburg.
Strasburg, not Newmarket. Okay, I think they put them on the line.
Strasburg's had a tough time this year. They've, their team ERA pitching-wise is so low. They just had some rough losses.
In Woodstock, they just can't score many runs. Pitch to Baker is low and outside for a ball. 2-0 Turks. Bottom of the third inning. Dave Norman and Brian Reese here from Eagle Field in Harrisonburg. Charleston kicks and deals. Hit hard down the left field line. Hooking foul. Foul by about 7 or 8 feet. Had that good baseball audio that we like there.
Oh yeah, the wood bats are something different.
Well, you know, one of the things I compare with the wooden bats is, you know, here's a nice tennis reference for you. The sweet spot is so much smaller on that wooden bat. It separates the men from the boys, and you factor in the good pitching. It's tough. 1-1 grounded foul again.
Almost got Coach Weiss on that.
Skipping rope, Olay. Wind is blowing out toward left field. So looking to gather in a fly ball and get it out of here. We did see one foul go out earlier. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jesse Baker from UT San Antonio. He's one of the guys that, you know, really the Turks thought he was going to hit more so far. He hasn't. He runs pretty well. He's a guy that really could get it back together. And he had a nice season at UT San Antonio. Some power, hit for a high average, stole a decent number of bases, kind of a multi-tool guy. So I think he's got a big upside. I think you might even see the Turks nudge him into the lineup, much like you see tonight, just to get him going.
Oh yeah, he started off a little slow. I know that he had a big home run about a week ago.
Yes. Yep.
And that helped the Turks. Not sure if it was a walk-off or not, but he's the guy who comes in, situational guy.
2-2, popped up down the left field line and hang up there quite a bit and playable, and caught for out number 1. Bryant Munoz on the play. I think that he's a free swinger, and he's not necessarily your prototypical work to count kind of guy. So I don't think you're ever going to really see him in the 1 hole or the 2 hole for the Turks. So he's probably going to be in that 6, 7, 8 for the whole season, even if he does get hot. Here comes Joey Roach, second year with the club. Pitch to Joey, a little bit high, maybe a shade outside as well. So what is your major at JMU?
I'm in the School of Media Arts and Design. Our concentration is corporate communication, and I love it. It's shout out to Joanne Holman. I know she's not listening tonight, but best professor I ever had this semester.
2-0 pitch, swung on and missed. Roach got a good pitch to hit there, and equally good pitch by Charleston to keep it down to it.
What's been so neat with Charleston, I don't know if you've said already, but they've had 18 different pitchers on the year, 9 different starters, and they must have seen what they liked out of Charleston the other night against Waynesboro.
2-1 pitch missed inside 3-1. This is really, usually I'll go through another pitcher's stats. He only pitched 2 innings, so I didn't go through it much. 3-1 pitches foul back to the screen. 2 innings pitched coming in, that was it. The 3 strikeouts in those 2 innings.
Yeah, and it was a big win over Waynesboro the other night. They beat Waynesboro 5-1.
Yeah, and Waynesboro is a team that they really had the momentum going from them early. They've struggled with late.
Oh yeah.
3-2 Roach, chopped down, first base win, that is foul again. I like seeing these multi-year players come back. Roach is considerably better, and when you look at last year's stats, you're like, okay, well, he hit 350 last year. But it was in limited duty, and he was a guy that was facing almost entirely right-handers. 3-2 pitch missed inside, and what he just did right there, he did next to none of it, which is work his count, foul off a couple tough pitches, and he hit a good one. So he's really developed, as a player, he's developed a lot more facets to his game, and I think that it's not that him hitting 350 last summer was good. I just think you can count on him for more at-bats, you can count on him to handle the pitching staff. He's a better player. Fastball is high for a ball to Stephen McLean. 1 ball, no strikes to Stephen.
Oh, and I talked to Matt Gandy, who's catcher and designated hitter for the Cannons, and he leads the league in walks now.
Popped up, right side. Townsend makes the call, and he makes the catch. Chris Townsend on the squeeze for out number 2.
Gandy's a big 6'3", 225 catcher.
He's a returning player.
He's a returning player, and he played for Covington last year.
That's right. And he was one of the best players in the league, yeah. I remember.
And what's been so surprising is that the strikeout-to-walk ratio is completely switched from last year.
Yeah, the year-in, year-out development is definitely one of the most interesting things I see. And great example, here's Thomas Spitz. foul back to the screen. Spitz he's a 5-tool guy. He wasn't necessarily that. He's going to throw a guy out the plate like last night. He's going to steal probably 25 or 30 bases before the summer's over. He'll hit enough balls deep to keep it honest, a few home runs here and there. Slider, I'm not sure what that is. The shade inside.
He's been the perfect complement to Rose on the season. I mean, he gets on, Rose is able to knock him in.
And he's shown a lot more discipline in calling balls, too.
Ooh, there it is.
Between the shoulder blades there. Spitz. You know you got hit solid when it trickles 15 feet forward back toward the mound. You got plunked pretty good when that's the case. No glancing blow there. So now it's Roach at second and Spitz at first. And Roach is an average to below average speed guy. Spitz has got the real speed behind him. So with Barr digging in here, I always root for a gapper so you can see the fast guy run up the other guy's backside.
Oh yeah, and Barr's quick too. And
yes, he is. Christopher chopped off that front foot. It'll get your attention. I don't see that he's got a protected gear on his front foot. But that obviously got him in a pretty friendly spot, or he'd be hopping around a little more than that.
Oh yeah, and I spoke to Christopher's father when he was here in the first series, and just a great family.
Yeah, Jim's pumped up. You like those legacy players. 0-1 pitch, strike on the outside corner. Quality pitch from Charleston right there.
And you've seen him, he's had a few wild pitches, or he's had that one wild pitch, excuse me, but
both these pitchers are so interesting but wrong. 1-2 pitch down and in. There's your wild pitch, and both the runners will move up. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And now it becomes a very nice RBI opportunity for Barr. One ball, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Ducks on the pond for the Turks, or as we say around here, Turks on the pond. I need to look that up. Wikipedia, Ducks on the pond. Where did that? I know what it means. Guys to drive in. Popped up, third base side. Looks like they're going to play. Maybe. Didn't make the catch. Wow.
What a play!
Catch. What a play by the Cannons third baseman right there. Justin Esquera leaned over. Snow cone caught that.
That was a stretch.
That was fantastic. What a play, and what a time for it. A couple of runners on. So the Turks leave a couple of guys on, but as you get to get out and meet all these clubs and everything, I mean, have you been exposed to the league like the Valley League before?
Not really. I come from the Eastern Shore of Virginia. It's a really small rural area, and they used to have a league way back before my time in the 50s,
Mm-hmm.
and they had they've got the smoothie challenge. So I got to acknowledge it real fast.
The brain freeze, the brain freeze contest. We definitely like that. The kids are down there, brain freeze. They're playing to win margarita.
Well, it's funny. I always say, like, if you win, are you really winning?
Yeah. You're the big winner. You're still at Bellum. They're not work for the next 3 years. It is good. Yeah, the reason I brought up this type of league is whether it's minor league baseball or something like the Valley League or summer league. The spirit of the building is very kid-friendly. You always see kids around here. You can see as you go town to town, every place kind of has a different vibe. And I think that the Turks are at the center of it geographically and otherwise.
Oh yeah, of course Harrisonburg has JMU's field. It's a beautiful facility. It's really neat to see the contrast when you go to somewhere like Central High School in Woodstock, which was,
It's a baseball field.
It's a baseball field.
Laid on top of a football field. It's got funky dimensions. And I mean, what I've never really seen, I'm not sure you can Google Earth it, the actual top view of what Central looks like. It's some trapezoidal shape.
Oh, it's really interesting. It's got this huge hill in center field.
I've been there a lot. I've never seen the top.
Oh yeah, and it's neat because I sat out there in center field,
Here comes Matt Gandy now going to lead it off. Turks have had a couple of near misses on pushing some runs across, but the Cannons still lead 2-0 here. Here's a strike on the outside corner from James Zimba.
Gandy leads the league in walks, but what's most interesting is when I talked to his coach, he said Gandy's got the best vision of any of the players I've ever coached. And I gave Gandy a call, and I said, "What have you done differently at the plate this year?" He said, "Well, my girlfriend said I couldn't see, told me to go to the eye doctor."
Here's a flare out towards center field. Spitz will come in. He makes the catch out shallow right center, out number 1.
And he got contact lenses at the beginning of this season before playing for Chapman University.
Sometimes, I will have to admit this, sometimes the women in our lives can trump our macho-isms and lead us in the right direction. I'm not saying it happens a lot, but it does happen. Well, that sounded like a disclaimer, didn't it?
That's right.
The married man disclaimer.
Listen to your mama. That's my.
Right. Justin Esquera, he hits the first pitch down to Gold, who's up with it. Go to first. Gold stayed with it nicely, as did Christopher Ball on the receiving end. When you've got a nice arm like Gold, you've got the luxury of block it, knock it down, pick it up, you have a play. And not all infielders have that luxury. Sometimes you drop it, you juggle it, it's over with.
Oh, he seems so comfortable out there. He's got a good internal clock. He knew exactly when to throw it.
Here comes Greg Brudzinski, the Cannons catcher. Some good-sized guys here in the Cannons. They got some big boys.
And Brodzinski's one of 3 catchers for Charlestown this year.
Hopped up first base side. Roach comes down and Barr comes in, calls him off, and he makes the squeeze just from foul territory. But both these starters have really settled down, doing a decent job. So I'm not sure if you had time to tell any of your folks you're going to be on or not.
I actually didn't. I'm surprised. It was my parents' 30th anniversary yesterday. So shout out to them. And this weekend they went to see Journey, Steve Miller Band, and Tower of Power in Virginia Beach.
Goodness. So it's right up my alley. I thought about buying tickets for that, but I was surprised my wife. They just didn't fall right on the calendar. I've seen a couple of those a few times, but it's a great 30th anniversary kind of thing. So very milestone type 30 years. I mean, people these days, our attention spans are so short that we just don't have the patience for 30 years of anything.
Oh yeah, and I told him, I gave him a call and said, what would I do if I didn't have parents that were, as fun and cool as y'all? I mean, they went to do that, and on their anniversary, they went to the beach yesterday, and they had a ball. But this Charleston's doing pretty well so far, but he's kind of got the Clayton Kershaw beard hair combination out there.
Well, the hair in baseball has gotten completely out of control. Some of the beard stuff going on. It's just, these guys are such copycats. But when you think about the lifestyle, you're always with the same guys. You're always trying to do something fresh. You're always trying to do something that's cutting edge and goofy. And these guys kind of goad each other into some of the wacky behavior. But I think it's a defense mechanism to keep your sanity being cooped up. The same 24 guys these guys are with each other 9 months of the year.
Oh yeah, and obviously you saw it with the Boston Red Sox last year, and they were the beard team. But you just got a lot of guys from Oakland like
I blame it on Brian Wilson of the San Francisco Giants beard back. He pushed this beard thing, beard boat into the water. We can't bring it back to port.
Oh yeah. And he's got, it looks like Blackbeard.
His beard's made in money, so he's thrilled. Here comes Thomas Smith, beardless, swung on and back to the screen, no balls and 1 strike. Maybe it's because I'm jealous. I couldn't grow a beard if you handed me half the hair to do it.
My dad's he's acknowledged that I've kind of been growing it out a little bit, but can't get it to Wilson.
Loaded outside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Kershaw had that big no-hitter the other night. He's really brought it together.
Swung on and missed. A little slider up in the zone there. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Smith.
Both of these guys on the mound are, tall, lanky.
1-2. Little flare down the left field line. Could be trouble hanging up and down for the base hit. Takes a big bounce. Played nicely in left field by Munoz. We've seen some kangaroo hops, especially from the visitor outfielders, will catch them by surprise. This little jam shot single by Smith started off the Turks. Now, Ryan, I think Rose for the Turks, he's the exception to the small ball rule. When you're just not going to see a bunt. I just don't. That's not a signal that registers in what you do with a player like Rose. I'd be shocked. High and tight is a fastball. You want to let a player like him just get his hacks and live with the results.
Oh yeah, it's so great of a chance for him to hit a double.
Quick throw to first, and Smith is back. Smith's up to around 280 now, starting to get his numbers shaped up. Gets the Rose hit hard and foul.
There's been a lot of hard hits down that third baseline today.
Yeah, good pepper. That usually means guys aren't fooling anybody. Charlestown Cannons cheap in the middle, looking for that double play ball. 1-1 pitch, hit down toward third, scooped up. This could be two. Second for one. On to first, a double play. 5-4-3 double play of the Cannons. A square of Townsend and over to Powell. 5-4-3. Second double play of the night for the Cannons. Jack Charleston's going to say, hey, boys, that's what I'm talking about. Pitchers love that. I need some Jack Duffy.
It helps out, especially when you're able to get Rose out that easily.
Here comes Keldfleisch now, 1-for-1 so far. Up the middle, gobbled up by the shortstop. Go to first is in time. Good looking play. Once again, Stephen Kerr showing that range up the middle. Keldfleisch continuing to lash the ball up the middle. It's a good sign overall.
It's a great hit. Kerr just with the sliding played it to Robin.
I think being shaded a little bit was definitely a nice play. But are you I know you're an Orioles fan. JMU Dukes, your college team.
Yes, sir. I know.
Virginia tonight's probably waiting.
Like I said to the Joe in Omaha, it's like, well, you at least get to watch the second most important game in the United States. Of course, Turks baseball is always top in the heat.
And I wish I'd called my brother before the game. UVA alum. Got the pen. I got the UVA pen tonight for him.
Well, you need to give him a lot of grief because he's a UVA alum. And he'll, of course, ride you about being a JMU guy for the rest of your life.
Oh, yeah.
You realize that, right?
Oh, yeah.
And UVA is they'll face a couple of elimination games that obviously got bounced out of the ACC tournament. Maryland Terrapins had them in an elimination game in the Super Regionals. So they faced it before, and they answered the bell against Maryland in a big way. So I would expect them to win the next two games. Just do.
Oh yeah, and they've got the pitching staff. I know Maryland was so hot in the last 2 weeks of the season.
Yeah, and you could have sustained it so long. I think that for Virginia, the fluky loss there in Game 1 was just that. It was a fluky loss, and I think they're superior. They're gonna find their mojo tonight. I just have that feeling.
The Volunteer State Community College Pioneer.
Wonder if Jay's wearing the orange and blue tonight. He's such a JMU diehard.
Oh, yeah, he's not a UVA fan. First pitch is low for a ball. Charlie Powell leading off. Right-handed swinger. He's been busy down there at the first dish tonight. Next pitch missed outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Little breeze to the left has come down a little bit. Not be quite as easy to poke one out. Good hitters count here. 2-0 pitch. Hopped up. This is right field, right? It is carrying well. Jesse Baker going back. I mean, that's the catch. A good carry on that ball. 20 feet I didn't really see off the bat there.
You're talking about the golden helmets tonight. Pal's got the golden locks coming out on him.
Yes, he does. Here comes Townsend now, second baseman. 0-for-1 so far. First pitch is high for a ball. Andrew Mulatto is on deck. I haven't really seen any big-time closers in the Valley League in a couple years. There's a line drive base hit out to left center. Spitz will have to hustle, cut this off. Backhands it. Big turn at first base by Townsend. He will scamper back to first. Thought about 2 there, but Spitz has got a gun. I think he would have had him dead to rights with a pretty nice throw. A good decision by Townsend.
Well, the Chapman Panthers. Right
Here goes Milano now, the right fielder. Quickly into the 5th, just 2 hits for the Turks. 2-0, the Cannons on top here. Quick throw at first, and Townsend did a little stutter step out there, almost got caught indecisive. These lefties have such an unfair advantage. As a former right-hand pitcher, I'm so envious every time I see the fact that they can just stare these.
And he could just step right over being 6'10".
High for a ball. I think he could just hand it over.
Yeah.
Here, you take this.
I know you're talking about haven't seen any closers in the Valley League recently. You've got to look at Logan Onda.
First, yeah, Logan is such a versatile pitcher that for the Turks last year, he started middle relief, and we had several closers. And Logan can be what you need him to be, but ideally, he's not really a closer per se.
Him and Tyler Brown have just been so big out of the bullpen this year.
Yeah, it really hurt the Turks not getting Adam Cherry, having arm problems right before the season was to begin. He was going to be the closer, no question about it. 2-0 pitch in there for a strike. That's a liberal outside corner right there. But both pitchers have gotten some calls.
Got some good calls.
It's been consistent. It's been wide and a little tall. We're back to first again. I think Ziemba's read the Charlestown Cannon scouting report. These guys want to run early and often. Townsend at first with 1 out. He's got a man's lead there. Thought about going. Little liner down the right field line, that'll twist away foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And really, the times we've seen Ziemba on have been minimal. He really looked on at Matt Stanton when we saw him there for a while, throwing the ball hard. But ultimately, you want a guy his size with a upper end fastball. You want him to handle a situation like this by himself. You want him to ring this guy in. High for a ball, 3-2.
Oh yeah, and Townsend looks like he's about to steal over there at first, but he's only got 2 stolen bases on the year.
He's getting a big lead, and he's getting what you call a big secondary lead. And Roach is no stranger to throwing around. There he goes this time. Ball 4 is up high. So Ziemba having familiar control issues. Runners at first and second with 2 outs now.
He's got a lot of working parts. Young kid out of Duke University.
He's extremely young, and a lot of times a guy's that big, and Coach Kuhn doing the right thing here. He's seen Ziemba slip into some bad habits before, and he wants to avoid that now. This is just a good job to get your young pitcher's mind back in the game. He's this big ball of talent, and you just got to get that focus in the right direction.
Oh yeah, you wonder if Coach K can get Ziemba out there playing power forward for the Blue Devils.
Well, when he walks around the campus at Duke, I'm sure that there's no question. People think, okay, sure, he's probably a power forward. And he finds out, no, sorry, it's baseball. Just another Cameron crazy like you playing.
I do believe he was a pretty good basketball player in New Jersey where he grew up.
Well, if you haven't noticed, Duke doesn't do pretty good. Pretty good's not their thing.
Oh yeah.
When it comes to hoops.
Might be able to play on the club team and try to win the matchup against the North Carolina club team that they have every year.
I'm sure you could put
Secret weapon.
Put the gear on and fool a couple of co-eds.
Oh yeah.
I didn't see you play.
Just don't pick up the ball and throw it at them.
Big spot here. Ziemba and the Turks could use a ground ball in a middle infielder. Hoodie Harris, the hitter, he can fly. With bluff play, Ziemba bluffs Townsend back to second. The Turks' middle infielders are close enough to shake Townsend's hand out there at second base. They're really trying to cheat him and keep him close. I'm thinking about 2. One at first base side, good play. Vaughn will pick it up, and there'll be no play at all. Terrific heads-up play.
Ooh, they got him in third.
Harris. Throw back, and he is safe back there in third. Close one there.
Talk about a great bunt from Harris. Guy can fly too.
Oh, in a perfect location, you put it right between second, first, and the pitcher. And even if they were to somehow get him out at first, you at least move the runner up. That's a heads-up play. And now with the bases loaded, this kind of gets back to what I was saying about Ziemba. When he really gets on, he's going to be a strikeout pitcher. And you can see it in him. He could really use one here. Pitch to Kerr is looking for a ball. Kerr is already 1 for 1 with a run knocked in. Bases full of cannons. They've already turned a couple double plays, and the Turks would like to have that deficit here with a double play of their own. 1-0 pitch, squared around the bunt, and got a piece of it there. Maybe a little safety squeeze going on.
Oh yeah, with Townsend at third, he's shown that he's had a little bit of speed so far. So,
well, and terminology-wise, people think, oh, it's a squeeze play, it's a squeeze play. No, there's a safety squeeze where the runner third is making sure the ball is bunted and making sure it's going away from the pitcher. Then he will really break home the earnest. Whereas a suicide squeeze is more reckless than that. Line drive, base hit to left field. Kelfleisch will take it on a hop. 1 run has scored. 2 runs will score. A good-looking swing there by Kerr. Got one in the middle of the plate. He did not miss it. And it's 4-0 Cannons.
It's a pretty hit off the bat for Kerr. He leads the team in hits. Has 23 on the season now.
Good looking swat there. Action in the Turks bullpen. Number 31. I believe that's Ben Parr. Yes. First pitch is inside, a little tight there to Brian Munoz. Runners at first and second. Still just 1 out, 2 runs in for the Cannons. 4-0 Charleston. Hopped up left field way, could be trouble. Kelfleisch comes in, he doesn't have a play that makes the catch. That's a pretty good carry. Big out there. That's what the Turks needed the previous hitter. Just a nice little innocent fly ball, too shallow to tag up and come home on.
It's tough to get both Kerr and Munoz. Munoz is converted from a nine spot hitter all the way to he's hitting right in the heart of the lineup tonight. Yeah,
and a lot of times it's just a matter of the coaches figuring out what have I got this summer, who can do what. Designated hitter Matt Gandy in there now. First pitch is low for a ball. This is a big hitter for Ziemba. When you figure the lefty-lefty matchups, it's advantage to Ziemba. But you mentioned that Gandy's a guy who works the count.
He works the count. He can see. Ziemba's had a
1-0 breaking ball off of Roach. It's a strike, but it's away from Roach. Gandy's saying that it hit him.
He's joking with the umpire a little bit.
So that's definitely a pass ball on Roach. 2 runners in scoring position now. Turks and Dyer even out. Big difference between 4-0 and 6-0. 4-0, you say, okay, a couple little rallies, you're back in the ballgame. 6-0, you're going to need to do something special to come back. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ziemba deals. Chopped up the middle. Smith has got it. He'll throw it first in time to pull the plug on a really big cooking number for the Cannons. 2 runs in on a couple of hits. 4-0 Charlestown Cannons. I want to thank you for joining us. And I was hoping you had somebody out there to give a shout out to. But Turks Nation, they're as good as anybody.
That's right. Shout out to Mr. Dennis Custis, longtime teacher at Nando High School. And he's probably not listening tonight, but.
Well, as the season goes on, I'd like to have you come back in. We've had more time to see all these teams. We'll check back in with you. And you have a lot of stories under your belt and all the kind of things that a good beat writer is supposed to be doing.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, Ryan. Outstanding. Ryan Reese, beat writer for the Charlestown Cannons and the Harrisonburg Turks. Join us here. 4-0 ball game. Jack Charleston has gotten some run support and some defensive support from the Cannons behind a couple of double plays. It's been all Cannons. when you see teams break the huddle, they all have something that they have to say. I know University of Virginia, when they break the huddle, they say 27 F's. That's what they say. You know, that's what you need to win a baseball game. For the Turks, hey, you still got 15 of them left. That's what you need to do. Try to stage a comeback. Get into the score out in deficit. 5-game winning streak for the Turks. They're going to have to do it. Rick at a time here. Coming on back. Brandon Gold leading things off for the Turks. He's down there, Baron. Jesse Baker to follow, and Joey Roach.
Leading off for the Yellow Jackets of Georgia Tech, third baseman, Brandon Gold.
Gold digs in there now. Charleston has a sign he likes, and he deals. Fastball, a little bit low. One ball and no strikes. There's a strike, 1 ball and 1 strike. And it's official. Everything is up and looking good across the board. With the video and the audio. So go to HarrisonburgTurks.com and click on that YouTube live stream. It's ready now. Fastball swung on and missed. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Gold. We had a lot of ghosts in the machine, and ultimately, I think we ended up skipping over one of the simplest solutions. Swung on and missed. Charleston gets the strikeout of Gold. Good looking fastball, and I think maybe he's got some dip to that. Gold's right on it, but a little bit over the top of it. Route number 1 on the strikeout. That's Jesse Baker. Baker has seen a bunch of his UT San Antonio teammates, or former teammates in this case, begin their professional career. R.J. Perucci being one, Mike Kraft being one. That's what found back in balls and 1 strike. So, the last 3 seasons, UT San Antonio, they have to ride. Playing for conference championships and all that good stuff. Giving some players hurts. There's a pop-up left side of the infield, shallow left center. Long run for the left fielder, and he drops it. Still not make the play. Basically, they got the first on error on the left field. Long run. That's where Munoz has got to get under and make the squeeze. I think Curry, shortstop, was a little lost under that in the beginning, but it's Munoz's ball all the way. Let's see if the Turks can turn that into a little starter. Baker at first, not necessarily a guy likely to get going here running. I wouldn't think of 4-0. Quick throw to first by Charleston. He's not a believer in that. Charleston pitching for Charleston. Baker's got a good sized lead. Charleston stepped off to get him to retreat quickly. Roach the hitter now for the Turks. Fastball outside corner for strike 1. Next pitch. Charleston on the upper end looks to be about 86, 87, I would say. Seen a couple higher than that. The 1 pitch. Grounded out towards second base. Gobbled up by Townsend. To short for 1. On to first for 2. Third double play of the night. A smoke hard ground ball, but right into Townsend's glove. And the Cannons knew what to do with that. 3 double plays. Charlestown back quickly. Back into the dugout. So we're going to step out for a quick break. We'll be back in a minute with more Turks baseball. Top of the 6th inning coming at you 4-0. Charlestown Cannons on top of the
Harrisonburg Mondays, one run down in the Winchester with out the bid. The Express has a 20 lead, the top third of the day.
Top of the sixth inning here. Eagle Field in Harrisonburg. Turks have got some work cut out for them here to keep this winning streak going. In from the bullpen comes the left-hander, Henry Shelton, Georgia University, Woodstock, Georgia. 6'2", 220-pounder. Going into his sophomore year. No decisions on the year. 5.4 earned run average. 6.2 innings pitched. 9 strikeouts. He's had some control issues as well. 6 walks, 0 walks. With the strikeout. One of the most important innings in a comeback with the guy who put a string of zeros on the board. That's what the Turks need from Shelton right here.
This call of the bullpen is presented to you by Rockingham Co-op Sporting and Ag, the Valley's premier high score.
Just now, this square will lead it off for the Cannons, followed by Brzezinski. Just 2 hits for the Turks. This is much like terrific pitching effort last night by Boone Mokry. Took a 2-hit shot out against the Turks. Used the double play, big effect in his effort. Reversal of fortune. Turks put 4 on the board in the 6th inning. Last night. To have a inning like that to get back into this one. Shelton deals. Grounded in the left field for a base hit. Fastball. Roped on the ground in the left. A square. Huge turn again. Cannons definitely like to push the issue on the bases. You don't have to ask them to be aggressive. Here comes Greg Brzezinski. We'll see if Brzezinski gets the bunt sign off, and a team with maybe a 3-4 lead will play some small ball to try and get it up to 5 or 6, a run here and a run there. Brzezinski, the 6-hitter. See if he's thinking about it. Does not. Down and into ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. One pitch, down and in again. 2 balls and no strikes. Brzezinski is 0 for 2 in the ball game. Shelton deals, chopped foul, third base side, 2 balls and 1 strike. Final line for James Ziemba, 5 innings pitched, 6 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks and 1 strikeout. 2-1 pitch, chopped, third base side. It's going to be a tough play. Gold picks it up, throw to first quickly, and one hops Barr. Got rid of it extremely quickly. I got to give Gold credit for that, but it was chopped a mile high. Quick return. That one could be scored a hit or an error. He did a really exceptional job to get rid of it quickly. And his throw to Barr was short. Scored an infield hit. I think the rule of thumb really is the guy had to make an extraordinary effort just to make it a close play. And if the answer is yes, you give it a hit. A beyond routine effort. A couple of runners on here, and here's Charlie Powell. Shelton deals, high for a ball, and Powell's definitely showing the bunt. Can't blame the Cannons there. They're a successful sacrifice and a big hit away from really breaking this one open. 2 on, nobody out. Already on top 4-0. Shelton deals, High and tight off of Roach's glove. And both runners will move up either way. Now it's 2 balls and no strikes. That's another one that has to be handled. Roach is having some trouble behind the plate tonight. Shelton missed his target by quite a bit. He's certainly making it a challenge for Roach to flag some of these errant tosses down. 2 balls and no strikes. Fastball on this one hits him. Foul is hit. Shelton is really struggling. He's not a soft tosser, so that one got a piece of it. Base is full of cannons. Nobody out. Here comes Chris Townsend. Last time up, Townsend was in a situation in play like this where he was the runner at third. It looked like the Cannons were thinking about maybe a safety squeeze. They've got a lot of options now. Coach Keene is headed to the hill. He's certainly not going to pull Shelton in this one. Get his head on straight and get back to throwing strikes. 4-0 Charlestown. Bases loaded. 4 runs on 8 hits. 1 error. No runs on 2 hits. No miscues for the Turks. It's definitely been the kind of game that not been like the last 5. That's like baseball. Every day is a new day. The Turks haven't figured out. Jack Charleston on the hill. Definitely. Not got any time to hit a few months to have. Charlestown done what they do. Some havoc on bases. First pitch to Townsend. High for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Other scores from around the Valley League. Looks like there's a lot of pitchers having their say tonight. 1-0 pitch there. It's a strike on the inside corner, 1-1. At Rebels Park in Newmarket, Winchester. On top. Rebels 3-1. Top of the 5th. Scoreless ball game. Cape Collins Field in Waynesboro. Front row in Waynesboro. There's a little flare out to the right center. It's going to get down for the base hit. Baker picks it up. 1 run will score. This throw will come in the bar, the cutoff man. So everybody moves up 90 feet, and it's 5-0. Good piece of hitting there by Townsend. Got jammed a little. Pulled his hands in, got enough bat on it to flare it out to the right center. So hit number 9, run number 5. That'll bring up Andrew Mulatto. Still nobody out here in the top of the 6th. Bottom of the 6th, and Stanton raging visiting Covington 1-0. Another low-scoring game at Woodstock. Strasburg leads the Grizzly Bandits 2-0. In the top of the 3rd, they start at 8 o'clock there at Woodstock. 1 ball, no strikes to Mulatto. Shelton kicks and deals. Strike on the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. Tanner Shelton looking to find some accuracy here. 1-1 pitch is high for a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike. Activity in the Turks pen. I'm getting a number here. It's been rare that we can have 3 pitchers in the game for the Turks. It's been kind of a 2-pitcher setup game after game. 2-1 foul back to the screen. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Turks had a 10-0 loss up at Newmarket in Ziemba's last start. Not everything here is Ziemba's fault per se. Very similar feeling game. 2-2 pitch. 1-1 miss. Shelton rings up out number 1 by way of strikeout. Mulatto is out number 1. Here comes Hootie Harris.
Center fielder Hootie Harris.
Fastball popped out toward left field, very shallow, and McLean will have a play. Steven makes the squeeze. Good range there. Cut play to the left, didn't have any chance to get to that. McLean has shown us tremendous range all year long. Makes the squeeze on that little pop-up. Turks would feel like they're leading the charmed life if they got off the hook here, only surrendering one.
Shortstop, Stephen Kerr.
Here comes Kerr. Definitely the best hitter statistically, already 2 for 2 in this game. Strike on the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike. Tanner Shelton comes set and he deals. Squaring around, a little safety squeeze action. Turks will try and let it go. Will it go foul? And it does. Just does go foul. Randy Gold and Tanner Shelton are both saying, please, 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 the Georgia Tech guys. But it had enough of a little hook to it. Heck of an idea by Kerr. 80-foot bunt down the third baseline. Just enough to turn to it to get fouled. I think Kerr's coming back and asking the home plate umpire, what the heck happened there, brother? That looked like it was staying fair to me. Left side spin. Triple foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes. I like the thought that you could beat that out. Third baseman deep. Try. 0-2 pitch. Grounded down toward third. Gold has got it. He'll go to second just in time. Way out right there. The Turks gotta be happy with only giving up 1. A bases loaded situation after 3 consecutive hitters. Only give up 1 is a big deal if you have eyes on a comeback. 5-0. Bottom of the 6th. This was break the game open inning for the Turks last night. Let's see if they can do a little carbon copy here tonight. Back to Mr. Miller. Turks Day.
So fans, biggest number probably going to draw for a couple of brief sandwiches from Mr. Davies. They will now 2 locations and 4 locations. Harrisonburg.
Back on, thanks. Bottom of the 6th inning here from Harrisonburg. New pitcher in the ball game for Cannons. Charleston certainly low on pitch count.
This one is no matter what. He's harder called the really big surprise. Now here's a Jerry Jordan from the Islanders of Texas A&M Corpus Christi.
Jerry Jordan, Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Has some Texas A&M players. Stephen Cotton,
off to the Harrisonburg Turks for short side. Picking up the play.
Jordan has thrown 13 third innings, 17 hits, 12 runs, 10 of them earned. ERA of 6.72 so far. Looks to go after hitters, and when I say that is he's got 7 strikeouts, just 2 walks. So he's certainly coming after the hitters. 2 wins and 1 loss, despite the high earned run average. He does have a save as well. A lot of times you'll see a guy who's been successful, maybe has 1 bad batter that spikes that number. Pitch from clean, on third base side, that's a good one. Took up bare-handed style, throw the first to the modern time. That's a good 15-20 feet up the third base line. Just heading that ball. I thought the Cannons were putting on a bunch of there. Really, that's the first time the Turks fans have gotten up off their fannies and been happy about something. The night where the Cannons had dominated. Here comes Thomas Spitz now. It's to Spitz. For a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. Playing at first with higher speed. 5-1 game. You want to stay pretty darn close. So 1 grounded out to the shortstop. Love it, and everybody safe. So the Cannons were loaded up, ready to fire off for a 4th double play. Everything was in order to at least get that lead run. They're not necessarily going to get Thomas Spitz there because he can just flat run. However, got to get that middle run. Error number 2 of the night for the Cannons. Even Kerr just kind of pulled it out of his glove and then he dropped it. So here comes Christopher Barr trying to make the Cannons really pay for the miscue. Wanted foul. Barr trying to do a little bunt and run, not happy with himself there. Just in the square of a third baseman is going to stay even with the bag. 2 balls and 1 strike. Harris in center field is extremely deep. Plenty of space out there to put something together. Bluff play clean is back. The Turks sense that they really need to capitalize here. Pitching change. It's also an error to take advantage of. The 1 pitch strike on the outside corner. Fans don't like it. That pitch has been called from the first pitch here to the ball width on both edges and clean strike. Clean it out in the 6th. It's not going to change that. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jordan deals. Popped up a mile high toward right center. It'll stay just on the edge of the infield where Townsend makes the catch. Infield flyover is called, of course, anyway. For those of you that are just listening on Stretch Internet, we finally, I'll say, got it all worked out, audio and video synced up. So head over to HarrisonburgTurks.com, right in the middle and center of the page, and put it on YouTube stream. Audio and video worked out, ready to roll. Thomas Smith up there now coming out. Fastball got away from the catcher, but it hasn't remained well. James makes a big turn down there, so let's get the bat. So 1 ball to Smith, but more importantly, I think you'd have to call that one a wild pitch. I think that hit the ground before it got to the glove from Zinski. Never get the ball down the stat side of things too much. There's statistical later situation, which is 2 home runs for the Turks. Smith will take 1 ball, no strikes. Turks need a big hit. Underneath of the armpits there with the uniform up there. 2 balls and no strikes. Smith's definitely a guy you want up there. He makes contact in big spots. 1 for 2 so far tonight for Thomas. 2-0 pitch, popped up a mile high on the third base side into foul territory and caught. So Smith skied one for out number 2. Body language says anything. Smith was not too happy with himself there.
Designated hitter number 5, Matt Rose.
Here comes Matt Rose. Two runners on, 2 outs. Pitch to Rose. Breaking ball stayed a little high, I believe. 1 ball, no strikes. Very close to that upper part of the zone. We've seen some calls there below the letters above the belly button. Rose being 6'4". One of the pitch swung on and missed. He had a healthy shot. 2 runners on for the Turks. A hit by McLean. Spitz reached by way of error. Wild pitch put him in scoring position. 2 pop-ups have followed. 1-1 pitch is high for a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike. Jordan comes set, he deals. Slider in the air for a strike. Nice little snap off. Rose was looking for something different. Put it on the shoulder there. Looking for dead red, he didn't get it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Big spot for Jared Jordan with the pin for the Cannons. Not being overly careful with Rose with first base open. I'm a little surprised with that. 2-2 pitch. Low for a ball. I know it's early going. The guy has been player of the week, BBL player of the week, and the Turks player of the week a couple times. You'll think they'd have given him some wild. 3-2 pitch. Ryan wants it. Hit pretty good when he's playable, though, and caught in left field. Rose just did not get that on the sweet part of the bat. Pretty good contact, but he ends up out number 3. 2 runners left on for Harrisonburg. Good pitching out of the pen by Jared Jordan. Covington is the top of 7.
5-0
Charlestown Cannons. Good pitching there for Jordan. 5-0 hitter for the top of 7. Turks baseball. That was 7th inning here in Harrisonburg. They're going on the call for it. Hopefully you're watching the video. The audio. First pitch to Munoz is fouled off third base side of play. Tanner Shelton remains in the game on relief. The balls and 1 strike. Munoz, Gandy, and Esquera due in the 7th here for the Cannons. Fastball. Pops to the outside. 1 balls and 2 strikes. Shelton's got a good live arm, much like Ziemba. It's just a matter of corralling those strikes in there somehow. 0-2 pitch was outside for a ball. Good waste pitch there. Strike one is the most powerful weapon in baseball. I'm a firm believer of that. When you get it, you're in charge the rest of the at-bat only. 1-2 pitch slider. Check the swing. Swept outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. With a 2-umpire crew, it's just absolutely impossible for the umpire in the infield who's down at first base right now to be the right person looking at the check swing. Next pitch is high for a ball, so Shelton is letting him back into this at-bat here. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Ball 4 down low. So Munoz works himself a walk. Comes Matt Gandy.
Designated hitter Matt Gandy.
These lefty-lefty matchups, it really should be an advantage Shelton. Most lefties have a heck of, particularly their breaking ball, keeping those lefty hitters off balance, sweeping it in there. Fastball, swing on the wrist, and Gandy had a man's cut there. Gandy's 0 for 3. Fastball swing on and missed. Came in at 289. Prior to his 0 for 3. And here's Shelton again with a hitter 0 2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Hop foul. Third base side. That really not play. Despite the 2 errors the Cannons have made, they're good plays in the field. 3 double plays and really have a shot at here. Great play to catch the square. Catch the ball right over the leg of the Turks dugout area. Big play. 0-2 pitch again. Blocked nicely by Roach. Munoz at first with a pretty minimal lead. He does have 2 steals on the year. Ground ball out towards second. Smith's got it. Second for 1. We have some hard ground ball versus four steps in infielders. That's just a tailor-made double play balls. Shelton really gets himself up with that double play ball. Balls hit that hard. You're happy that it's at somebody. So here comes a square now. 1 for 3 with a run scored for Justin. Get out towards center field pretty deep. Spitz is on the run, and he will camp around under that thing. Square gave it a ride. Small warning track. Mostly validating parts. Here. Turks need a rally. Scored 9 outs to play with. This is an explosive lineup. 9 outs to play with. They've already got against the Cannons open. The Cannons kind of late. He runs on 3 hits straight now for the Turks. He's got that for a quick break back in there. Turks headed back to the game.
Let's get some love. All right, if you purchase a 50/50 jackpot drawing, the ticket purchasing weighs $67 tonight. It's size jackpot, 50/50 split possible. Weight ever is 384 342. 384 342. 67. Spot one also followed the second. Number 6, Royals. Lead the Rebels 5-1. Woodstock over Strasburg 5-2 on number 4.
Out of the 17 in Harrisonburg. We got a good stretch as we did here in the ballpark. First pitch to Keldfleisch. He's low for a ball. Going to be here Keldfleisch, Brandon Gold, and Jesse Baker. For the Turks, still in need of a rally here tonight. The pitch is inside for a ball. 2 balls and no strikes. Sometimes they start with the ball. 2-0 pitch from Jordan to Keldfleisch. Popped out toward right field pretty deep, going to be playable though. It actually comes in on a little bit to make the catch. So didn't quite get that on the fat part once again. Andrew Mulatto on the catch out of right field for the Cannons. Comes Brandon Gold. He's 0 for 2 so far. When you're getting your third at bat in the bottom of the 7th, you know that someone on the hill has done pretty well against you. First pitch is down for a ball. Final numbers for Jack Charleston. 5 innings pitched. He gave up just 2 hits. Didn't pile up the strikeouts, just 2 of those. Just 1 walk. Up the ground ball base hit in the center field. Actually going back through the box. And actually, just coming off the mound in a fielding position is something that you don't see quite as much as you'd like to with some pitchers. And Jordan kind of fell off to the first base side ever so slightly. And that was hit right back through the box. 1 out, 1 on for Jesse Baker. Baker hitting 186 so far. First pitch missed inside, maybe a little high as well. Does have 1 home run and 5 knocked in. Quick throw to first, no trouble getting back. For Gold. 1 ball and no strikes to Baker. Hit hard but foul into the Turks bullpen in left field. Baker was 0 for 1 last night, but did have a 6-game hitting streak before that, so he had really gotten down there fairly low and he started to come out of it a touch. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jordan throws back over to first again. Gold almost got caught leading there. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out. 5-0 Cannons. They've fired all the weapons here tonight so far. That pitch is down for a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike. Both teams have hit the ball hard. Those are hard foul balls and a lot of hard ground balls that turn into double plays. Pitch is high for a ball. Despite all the framing efforts of Brodzinski there, that one stays up high. 3 balls and 1 strike. Baker, a decided free swinger. I would think he's going to be hacking here if it's anywhere close. Swung on and foul back. Definitely swung at ball 4. A running fastball, a little up and in. 3 balls and 2 strikes now. Jordan comes set. And he deals a payoff pitch. Lined out there in left field and get down to the base hit. The free swinger or not, Baker was making plenty of contact. DNA.
Catcher Joey Roach.
Here comes Joey Roach. Couple of runners on this run out here for Turks. The insurance run there took it from 4-0. pretty big for the Kansas. The pitch is down and in, nearly by Brodzinski. I've seen a wild pitch out of Charleston. Got the Turks into a situation that ended pop out earlier. Great play by Square. Jordan deals the 1-0. Popped up a mile high from a loop of a swing. Infield fly rule again. Johnson makes the catch. I think he could have driven Charlestown and back and gotten underneath that one.
The shortstop, Stephen McLean.
Big second out. Here comes McLean now. He had a bunt single his last time. 1 for 2 officially. Average speed was go over to second, better than average. There's a little flare out to the left center. This ball directly between the outfielders. A nice running catch. Good talk. A great catch there by the left fielder.
We have the bottom of the seventh for the Turks.
Scored too much on it, depending on how you feel. 2 runners left on for the Turks. Headed for the top of the 8th inning.
Kansas appetizer at Charlie's Restaurant and Bar, a passion preserve. Winning numbers are 114-783, 114-783, and 490-641. 490-641. Oh, Charlie. While supplies last, pizza $1 a slice now. $1 a slice on pizza at the concession stand.
Yeah, they don't even talk over there. They can't got you over here.
The office together, Greg Brodzinski.
Well, good for you. Oh,
Top of the 8th inning, Greg Brodzinski will lead it off. Charlie Powell will follow. Chris Townsend after them. Tanner Shelton kicks and deals. Down and in for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. A couple of near miss innings for the Turks, but a very nice night for the Charlestown pitchers. Shutting the Turks out so far with just 5 hits. Shelton deals. Little flare out toward the left center, hanging up, and it's going to get down for the base hit. Go place. Could not get there. Looping liner, the leadoff hit. Bring Charlie Powell. Other scores from around the Valley League. Top of the 8th inning in Waynesboro. The Generals on top of the Cardinals 1-0.
First baseman.
Winchester leads Newmarket 5-1 at Rebels Park. Rebels have been awfully hot of late. Top of the 7th there. Woodstock at the top of the 5th. They're at home against Strasburg. They lead 5-2. First pitch to Powell, pops the glove for a strike. Of course, our ball game was 5-0. Oh, the other ball game's getting on. Stanton Grace 5, coming to New Jazz 1, top of the 8th in Stanton. Swung on and that's good fastball by Shelton.
see you, Matt. Matthew.
0-2, and Shelton has just had a knack of getting guys 0-2. Not finishing off the way you'd like to. 0-2, popped a foul right side out of play. Beautiful night here in Valley. Going to get down to the mid-60s. Good sleepy weather. nearly as sticky today. Just good enough. Shut the deal. Hop foul. Good defensive swing by Powell to stay alive. He's trying to pepper that outside corner with Peter. Oh, 2 pitch now. Base hit in the left field. Jumped on a fastball. Stung it out there. So 2 runners on now. Hit number 11 for the Cannons. Here comes Chris Townsend.
Second baseman, Chris Townsend.
I think if you don't look at the scoreboard, you'd say to yourself, all right, this is definitely a bunt them over situation. Up 5-0, some coaches, they take the small ball off. They'll say, all right, let's give a guy a chance to get some hacks here. Let's see what Coach Fuller's on that is here. Swinging away. In there for a strike. No balls and 1 strike. Townsend might have thought that was a shade high, but the upper part of the zone has been open as well. Been a big zone for these pitchers. No excuse not to get your strikes through. 1 pitch, very high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Newmarket Rebels will be in tomorrow night. In the same situation the Turks are, pretty similar. Down by 4 or 5 runs, trying to see if they can make a late game rally at home. Line drive out to second. Caught. Easy double play, almost a triple play. Smith makes the catch, flips to McLean. Powell wandered off first base. He was in sights for a triple play there.
Right fielder, Andrew
Sometimes that's how it happens. A freaky play like that is the only bright spot in a dull evening. 5 double plays now, 3 for Charlestown, 2 for the Turks. Here comes Mulatto now. Strike one to him. 2 balls and 1 strike. Charlie Powell at first now with 2 outs. Shelton holding the ball now. He deals. Hot foul. Back out of play. The ball's 2 strikes. Other than the clean singles to left field on the first pitch that we've seen a couple times, Shelton just seems to get everyone 0-2. So he's definitely peppering the zone. Gotta like what you're seeing there. Everything early in the count. 0-2 pitch. Another foul ball to the right side on the top of the flag there. Harrisonburg is the home of the Valley League All-Star Game. That'll be coming up on July 6th here. That's a Sunday. A whole day of festivities, including a 60-yard dash, home run hitting contest, all kinds of good festivities, and lots of talent. Slider swung on, and yes, check swing style. Ken Shelton brings up Mulatto, who were out number 3. 1 runner left on Charlestown. Headed for the bottom of the 8th inning here. I think the Turks win, lose, or draw. But at least get some decent at-bats here. Stringing innings together. Cannons came in at 9-9. Pretty doggone good. Lots of talent here in these top 4 or 5 teams that we've seen in the Valley League. I'll step out for a quick minute. Back in a minute with the Turks at bat.
Leading off for the Turks, the right fielder, Luke Chakowski.
Bottom of the eighth inning, Luke Chakowski get his first at bat of the game. First pitch is high and tight to Luke, 1 ball, no strikes. Chakowski was in right field on the top of this inning, waiting for Jesse Baker. Wait, I didn't notice. Long pitch is popped up right side of the plate, 1 ball and 1 strike. Luke from Fleming Island, Florida, 6'3", 210 pounds. Wake Forest University. We had him in his junior year. 313 on the season, 10 for 32. All singles. 3 runs batted in. Slider stayed up high. 2 balls and 1 strike. Makes pretty good contact, just 4 strikeouts and 32 at-bats. Chakowski, 2-1 pitch. Ooh, liner. It's going to be just a little floater headed to center field. Townsend made a nice run and a leap, but scored it out of his glove. It'd be a base hit for Chakowski. Would have been a very nice play. Did a little Brandon Phillips, Cincinnati Reds imitation there. Great attempt, at least. So Chakowski improves on the season 13. Here comes Christopher Barr. Fastball popped a little outside. So Chakowski was added in the order of Thomas Spitz location there. That's a little surprising. Flared foul down the third base line. I would think that Spitz might have something wrong with him. Just think he's not going to get his at-bat there. That's something to check into. 1 ball, 1 strike to Barr. Fastball way outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Jared Jordan got a good live fastball, but that one had some run to it. 2-seam runaway. When controlled, that's a devastating pitch. 2-1 pitch is fouled off the third base side. 2-2 now to Barr. Barr hits out of a slightly open stance. Up on the plate a little bit. 2-2, swung on and missed. That looked like something maybe a split finger fastball. Something that had some dip to it. Great looking pitch by Jordan, and he strikes out Barr. Out 1. Comes Thomas Smith now. Jordan set and he deals. Strike on the inside corner. No balls and 1 strike. Fly ball out to right field. Caught out there for out number 2. And Mulatto on the squeeze for the Cannons. Comes Matt Rose now. 0 for 3 on the night for Rose.
Designated hitter, Matt Rose.
And the DH slot tonight. Small foul back to the screen. Rose was 1 for 3 last night. 1 for 3 and your average goes down. You know you're having a pretty good run. A handful of games in the whole season. 1 pitch swung on and foul tipped into the glove, 0-2. Actually, Rose has reached base in every game. The games he doesn't have a hit, he's thrown at least 1 ball. 0-2 pitch popped up toward right field. Lotto's underneath it, makes the catch. Maybe even that little streak is going to come to an end.
The Turks no runs. There's 1 run left.
So 1 hit, 1 runner left on, headed for the top of the 9th inning. Cannons continuing terrific pitching. Jack Charleston and Jared Jordan shut the Turks down to 6 hits for the Turks. Top of the 9th, come at you just a minute. Top of the 9th, top of the order for the Charlestown Cannons. That'll be Hootie Harris, followed by Stephen Kerr and Ryan Munoz. Left-hander Tanner Shelton kicks and deals. Asphalt in there at the news for strike, 4 balls and 1 strike.
Have you picked up the thing with Karen at all?
Shelton has a sign he likes from Roach and deals. Line drive out toward right field, going to hang up there. Caught by Luke Sikowski. Jesse Baker is now in center field, and Thomas Spitz walked out up there. Okay, that's just a cautionary thing. As I mentioned, the Turks will be hosting the Newmarket Rebels tomorrow.
Shortstop Stephen Kerr.
Thursday will be an off day, followed by a visit to Woodstock on Friday. Saturday. Breaking ball in there for a strike to Kerr. He's had a nice ball game. 2 for 3. Got home a couple of runs and scored. Despite the fact he made it here at short, he's got pretty hard to be out there too. There's a liner out towards short. 1 hop for playing up with it on 2 hops. And he beats it out. Great speed. Kind of a soft liner. Took 2 hops there. McLean got rid of it. Right-hand batter's box. That was impressive speed for Kerr. He beats it out. Hit number 12 for the Cannons. Kerr from Margate, Florida. He got 5'9", 160. That was many Florida Atlantic University players that make it to the Valley League summer after summer. And he's a good one. 9 steals coming in. He really showed the speed right there.
Pitch hitting.
Andrew
Yasik.
Andrew Yasik. A-C-Y-K. Andrew Yasik. Flames of Glory. Shelton deals. Missed on the inside part. 1 ball and no strikes. 1 out, 1 on top of the 9th. Cannons would like to add an insurance rule, mostly hoping they wouldn't need it. 5-0. Fastball chopped down to a third. Gold throws to second, and then on to first. Terrific double play. Gold took a chance to throw and try and get the speedy runner at second. Really, either Yasik tripped coming out of the box or just didn't run much at all. He was easy pickings at first base, up by about 20 or 30 feet. So it was the sixth double play of the game, 3 for each team. And that quickly, the Turks are headed into the dugout. I think that you can tell hands on hips down the Turks dugout. No one's real happy with the effort, especially having won 8 in a row and 5 in a row. 5-0 headed to the bottom of the ninth inning. Good time for me to update you on the scores from around the Valley League. These games top of the sixth inning at Woodstock. They start 8 o'clock. Riverdale on top of Strasburg 7-2. 7 runs really represents the outmost for Woodstock this year. They have not scored this year, but they pitched all. Top of the ninth in Waynesboro, the Generals are giving up to a 1-0 lead over the Football Cardinals. That's a really just tied for second versus first place game there. Winchester, top of the eighth at Newport. They got a 6-4 lead with the extinguished Rebels. Stanton 5, Covington 2, top of the ninth at Jefferson Park. So we've got a few long games. 3 in the ninth and 1 at the top of the eighth. All coming to conclusion. Good pitcher in the ball game for the Charlestown Cannons. Really hard throwing right. That's Clayton Payne of Daytona State.
Now pitching is number 45, Clayton Payne of Daytona State.
Big kid. Long guy, 6'4", 6'5". Payne, no exception, 6'4", 185. Actually, that's a little bit heavier than that. Great pitcher's build.
Off the left fielder, down low.
See his hometown. Here at Kelpfleisch lead it off for the Turks. It's going to be Kelpfleisch, Brandon Gold, and Jesse Baker. Yeah, Cannons kind of night. Their offense has looked exactly how we thought it would. Mobile, a lot of contact, causing some havoc on the bases. Great pitching effort so far. Jack Charleston and Jared Jordan working on a shutout. Payne will see if he can't put the cherry on Sunday for the Cannons. First pitch moves outside. 1 ball, no strikes to Kelpfleisch. Foul back to the screen. 1 ball, 1 strike. This is inside. 2 balls and 1 strike to Eric Kelpfleisch. Ground ball down toward first, taking on a few hops there and to the bag. Charlie Powell, assistant for out there. Brandon Gold will dig in there now.
Third baseman Brandon Gold.
6 hits, no runs for the Turks. Here's the fastball catches it outside corner. Got knee high. No balls, 1 strike to Gold. Brandon is 1 for 3 on the night. Fly out to a right center. Hanging up, in trouble though. Called for and caught by Mulatto. Good talk there. Mulatto and Townsend were converging on each other. Mulatto, the guy with the great vision, running right at the ball. And Townsend is really so 2 quick outs here at the top of the ninth. Here comes Jesse Baker. He's also 1 for 3 tonight. Fastball low outside. They can ping the righty. There's in for a sign, and he deals to 1-0. And this one, Rush Baker. I think Baker was as surprised as anyone at the home plate umpire said he'd been hit. Maybe got a piece of the uniform on the way by there. So 2 out hit by pitch, and they'll bring up Joey Roach.
The catcher, Johnny Rhodes.
Turks have had a lot of 2-runner-on situations where the Charlestown pitcher just made the right pitch to get out of trouble. Very savvy for the Cannons. A lot of runners left on base, a couple of runner situations. Joey popped up his last time in a similar situation. First pitch misses down low, 1 ball and no strikes. Roach is 0 for 2 on the night. Coming at 179, 1 home run, 5 knocked in. There's a strike, knee high with a fastball from Payne. One pitch, grounded down toward first, and right there on the bag is Charlie Powell. He'll take it unassisted for the final night of the ball game. So a very nice pitching combined shutout for the Cannons.
Line score for this evening's
5 runs on 12 hits, 2 errors for the Cannons, no runs on 6 hits, no errors for the Turks. The only happy number on the scoreboard for the Turks is 0 in the error column. They did turn 3 double plays along the way. Good to see James Yemba get back out there and do a few things. They had some control problems, but really they got to credit the Cannons. They were a bigger story than Yemba having all kind of control problems. Plenty of time for things to worry. Get them to work out and not be worried. Because I can see Jimba down there now. He's got a smile on his face. He knows what it is. Each winner's in here. You're learning him. Cannons moved to 10-9 on the year. And the Turks are 12-7. We'll get a chance to right back to the win column and have the 5-game winning streak snapped. Continue to have 5-game winning streaks snapped.
Please do.
Several ball games have gone final. Waynesboro is moving on. 1-0 victory over the front row of the Cardinals. That's pretty darn good from Harrison. He did a lot of things right. Stanton, 5-2 winner, coming to the Lumberjacks. That stops the Jackson, though. They really haven't lost since Harrisonburg stepped in the doubleheader late last week. Both the Turks and the Jackson. Harrisonburg will slip below the Waynesboro out there. Also lost his first week beyond the third place. It's all said and done. Charlestown will be fifth place in the shape comes to the Lumberjacks. We stopped with 72 on top of the 6 of the Strasburg Express. Winchester on top of the 6-1. Turks have a real meeting down there on the Thursday side. I think the big story for tonight is kind of a technical story. Great to get the audio video. That's the story. I mean, it was nice to have Joe Kirkendall call in from the College World Series. Also great to have Ryan Reese on, talking to the beat writer that covers these 2 ball clubs. So, not having Joe here was a challenge, but we kind of got through it. I think that having Joe call in and do the correspondent thing was good. UVA has had a 1-1 ball game the last I saw. 2-1. Who's on top?
Vandy.
Vandy on top. What did he want?
I think you just said it was top 5.
Okay, just the top 5.
UVA's up there.
Vanderbilt on top 2-1. So nice little nail-biter ball game. I'll definitely get into that. I'm sure some of you folks at home have been watching Turks baseball, watching UVA. That's exactly what we wanted them to do from the beginning of the season. That'll all be over with soon. And just be Turks baseball, which is far more important than any College World Series there. Well, thank all of you for tuning in. Join us tomorrow, 7:10. We've got the audio and the video version of Harrisonburg Turks baseball. We're going to be loaded up, probably add a couple more cameras, maybe Some dancing girls, all kinds of buzzers and whistles and things to keep it interesting. Here at 7:10 for the pregame show. The first pitch is usually around 7:30. It looks like I was turning in for a good cookie ball in Omaha, Nebraska. And for Brian Reese, I'm Dave Norman. Have a good day.